We're talking about the Twinning Program. That's an effort to bring together Muslims and Jews. And the program was brought to our attention by Rabbi Matthew Gewirtz, who's a friend of this show. He's appeared with us in the past. And in November, Rabbi Gewirtz spoke at a mosque in Newark, New Jersey. And in honor of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the mosque's imam, Dean Sharif, spoke at the rabbi's synagogue, Temple B'nai Jeshurun. I was also invited to be a guest during the service. It was at the synagogue that I talked to both of them about the program.
We're here tonight to experience something called the Twinning Program. And what was your first experience of the Twinning Program, and why are you interested in it?
I actually had my opportunity about 5 or 6 weeks ago to go to Imam Sharif's mosque and to a service there, and he spoke, and then I was able to offer words. And it was one of the more extraordinary experiences I've had in my 13 years as a rabbi. And I'm going to put him under pressure and say, although he's about to speak, it will also be one of the more extraordinary experiences he's had in his clerical journey.
Yes. I'm here with you in B'nai Jeshurun. I'm told that the meaning of this is the children of Jeshurun, or the children of the one who is straight and upright. Is that not right? The one who is straight and upright. The Hebrew scriptures tell us that this describes the people of Israel. Yet I say to you that this description also is linked to the one who gave birth to the children of Israel. It is linked to, you might say, the grandfather, but it is also linked to the person that you and I call Father Abraham.
I said to Imam Sharif a couple of days ago on the phone, I'm going to guess that in the 160 years of the existence of the synagogue, that this is the first time an imam is speaking in a synagogue, which I think says a lot about the history of Jewish-Muslim relations. So they're interested, they don't understand a lot, and they want to know what it is that we have in common so that we can walk forward together.
And what was the reaction of your congregants at the mosque when Rabbi Gewirtz came to speak?
Gratitude.
We're all connected to one place. We forget we're connected to one spot. We forget that we're connected to the sacred essence of what it means from soul, to see each other as self, to see each other as human beings, not to see religion necessarily, not to see race, not to see orientation, but to see each other as spiritual beings, all of us created by God.
And you met no resistance?
I met no resistance at all here. I did not know what to expect going to the mosque, but I certainly didn't expect resistance. And to say that I was received warmly was an understatement.
You know, this is interesting to me because the perception is that Jews and Muslims don't get along. And that's played out on the world stage, and it's also played out right here in this country. So to be able to have these two groups come together with relatively little resistance, I mean, what do you attribute that to?
I attribute it primarily to the leadership that those Muslims that I'm associated with are Muslims that recognize and follow the leadership of the late Imam W. Deen Muhammad. His leadership is a type of leadership that was focused on interfaith activity. He personally indicated to his leaders that they should reach out to leaders of other faiths, that we should establish relationships with leaders of other faiths, and that we should work together to build a community that was cooperative and that had an appreciation for the faiths that we all embrace. So interfaith has never been an issue for us. We've always had interfaith dialogue. I had interfaith dialogue with my mother and father when I told them that I was about ready to embrace Islam. And believe me, that was some dialogue.
Matthew, why do you think historically there has been this antipathy between the two religions?
I think let's start historically here in our country. I think that we don't know each other. I don't think that, I'll speak for my community, I don't think that we know on a regular basis Muslims, meaning that we don't pray with them, we don't share in activities. We may go to work, but it's not something that that Jews have done a lot of reaching out to, at least in my communities. And I think historically there are obvious problems, namely in the Middle East. And I think that the fear that that has caused really scares Jews, and I think scares Muslims, and they sometimes stay in their own corners instead of coming together. When people get to know one another and know each other's hearts, and know each other's minds, and know each other's souls, I think there's real opportunity to build bridges across difference.
Imam Sharif, is this more than just a religious divide? Is it also an ethnic divide?
Yes, in some instance there is. There is a need for us to get to know each other on multiple levels, from the standpoint of understanding each other's faiths, as well as from the standpoint of understanding each other's racial and cultural backgrounds. We have an obligation to tear down those stereotypes. And the way you do that first is through dialogue, through communication. There's a verse in the Quran that says, actually, where God tells us, which we hope and we live by, that we've made you nations and tribes so that you will get to know each other. I think that's an important part of what we as Muslims and Jews and Christians, right, and others should embrace, because in that diversity, there's an opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves.